All right. Oops. Here we go. Hold on. Let me get this thing right. Okay. Let me get situated. Oh man, I left my water. Hold on, I gotta get my water. All right, here we go. So, I got some good news. Check this out. I figured out something that could be useful to everybody. And hopefully you thank me for it because it helps you out. Good early afternoon to you special people. How's everybody doing? And I'm glad that you took a moment to jump on. It's not like we got a whole bunch of stuff to do anyways, but everybody on social media is putting out videos of all kinds of things, and I'm like, man, where's the value? What could I use with what you're saying? And sometimes you can get value, and then other times there's a bunch of nonsense. So hopefully I can give you something that is of value to you that I believe, and this is gonna be short. I know I always say it's gonna be short, and then it's not short, but this one's really gonna be short because I truthfully believe that over the next few minutes I can give everyone something that can help them. Check this out. So a lot of people pay attention to the meals that I cook. A lot of people do that. They're like, oh, send me the recipe. And I'm like, okay, I can send the recipe, but that doesn't necessarily mean that your meal's gonna come out like mine. And so the recipe for life, right? Our recipe for life could involve different things. And that's why we always try to get advice from people. Someone who has a great relationship, you might want to ask them relationship advice because they have the recipe for a good relationship. They know all the ingredients to make the relationship good. And so you ask them for pointers. Somebody may be married for a long time, and so now you want to talk to them. You know what's crazy is you'll go get a book or hear somebody online talking about all these. They're an expert in a field, and they're gonna try to, but they're not really. Like, they're giving you advice on something that they're not doing at all. Example: if you want to get in shape, you have two friends. Two of your friends are a friend that you barely know and a friend that you've known for a long time. And when you join the gym, the friend that you've barely known for a long time is physically fit. Like, this man or woman is in perfect shape. They are ripped, and you go with that person. You go with the person who you haven't known the longest, but they're more in better physical condition than your friend that you've known forever. And your friend that you've known forever is mad. They're just livid. Man, don't talk to me. Well, my family depends on this. This is what I do for a living. This is how I make my money. Why would you go let somebody else be your personal trainer over me? Well, guess what, friend, for that we've been friends for all these years? This other friend that I haven't known that long is depending on this for livelihood as well. This person is also depending on this to feed their family, to pay their bills. And you can look at that person and tell that they take it seriously. But when I look at you, friend, this is just me being honest. You don't look like what I want to be. You're not in the type of shape that I want to be in. So I'm going with what I want because my shape, my physical condition is aligned with what I want to do for my family, what I want to do for myself, and what long-term results that I want. So if you want me to be your client, if you want me to choose you as a trainer, step your weight up, get your act together, put yourself in position to be attractive enough physically that I want to train with you because you look like the results that I want, right? If it's for a marriage, you're not going to talk to well, you could ask somebody who's been divorced over and over again what not to do. They could probably tell you on how it went wrong or what person not to choose. All those things can happen. Also, though, you could talk to somebody who's successful in doing it and get a completely different perspective because they've actually made it work. Also, all these things all come down to ingredients and recipes. And that's why I love to talk about this because anybody who knows me knows that, I love talking about a good meal, right? Because I know how to cook. So imagine someone came to me and said, hey, what meal, I want to cook that meal that you made. Send me the recipe. And I sent them the recipe. Now, this is the whole thing. They could have the identical recipe but not have the right ingredients. I hope that makes sense. Listen to what I just said. The right recipe but the wrong ingredients. All that means is this. I could tell you, get this specific box of brownies if you want the brownies that I made. Well, guess what? If you went out and got a different box of brownies and said, hey, this doesn't taste like anything like what you gave me. I went on the back of the box, you said, make sure it has this, and that. And I go, yeah, those are all, that's the recipe. But you got the wrong ingredients because instead of going with this name brand, you went with that name brand. And that applies to everywhere in your life, every single place in your life. It could be in your friendships. You know, if you know somebody that's not good at keeping friendships, you might not want to ask them how they keep their friendships. Look at the recipes that you have for your life. Look at all the things that you've been doing. And then sometimes recipes take longer. There's no race. You don't have to expedite the process to get into what you want. Okay? Check this out. Now imagine if the recipes that you want are in different places. You know, I made this macaroni and cheese about a week ago. Banging! That mac and cheese was off the chain. It was so good that the people who ate it called me and messaged me the next day saying, oh my gosh, they were still having flashbacks about it. Isn't that the type of meal that you want? Aren't those the type of things and ingredients that you want in your life? So, again, in your life, you may have the right recipe. You might have everything lined up. Your success plan, your winning plan, in different areas of your life. For being a parent, you might have the right recipe, but you might have the wrong ingredients. And that's it. See, because if someone were to make a dish and miss one ingredient, then the dish changes. And so in your life, think about that. Think about the ingredients that you have. Now imagine a person cooking a high level meal, okay? In just your life. Imagine your life is a meal. It's some good gumbo. What type of ingredients are you going to put into your gumbo? Some people are going to go to the store and try to cut corners and go get the little small crab legs, and you're like, man, what kind of crab legs are these? You spend more time breaking them up for a little bit of meat. There's no reward. With me, I'm going to go get the big juicy crab legs because I want it to be visibly pleasing. I want it to look so good that it's like, oh my gosh, look at those crab legs, man, before they even touch the dish. Why? Because we eat with our mind and our eyes and our senses before we actually taste it. Right? So think about that in your life. Think about every single person in your life, which one of their senses are you touching? And that's in your business, that's being a parent, that's being a husband, that's being a wife, that's being a friend, that's being a business partner. That's in every area of your life. I'll tell you a story and I'm done after this story. I had a really good friend of mine, very close to me, that knew I could cook, that invited me to go eat. And I'm like, you? I didn't even know that you could cook. But I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to go over and eat with this person because this person, who's a really good friend of mine, wanted to impress me. You know, this person had experienced my meals and I cook at a very high level, and anybody knows me knows that I get down in the kitchen. So check this out. This friend was encouraging me to come eat. They wanted to like give back. Hey man, you always cook for me. You always hook me up. I was actually related to this friend. I'm trying not to like bust this person out. And I don't want them to be like, what? But I got to, otherwise the story doesn't make sense. So check this out. This person who was a beneficiary of all the great meals was always eating my food, and I guess they weren't paying attention. They just saw the outcome. They saw the recipe, but they didn't see the ingredients. So they seen that I added this, I added that. So they knew the recipe, but they didn't know the ingredients. So they tried to go out and do something very similar. And when I got to this person, I can't even say who it is, a relative, I got to the relative's house and they were cooking, and I'm like, I got in, they're like smiling. Oh, it's about to go down. And no, I couldn't smell nothing. I'm like, I don't smell nothing. I didn't say that, but I just left it there. And they're like, they're in the kitchen cooking. Hey, what's up, B? Hey, I'm like, hey, what's up? How's it going? They're like, oh man, they're so excited about giving back. Like many of us are excited about people in our lives. Maybe you need to get more familiar with how the people in your life like to receive the meal that you're giving them. And I'm speaking hypothetically, I'm speaking metaphorically. The meal meaning how you present yourself. Maybe one of your business partners, how you're delivering the dish is not appetizing to them. Maybe someone you're in a relationship with, maybe the dish is not appetizing to them. Maybe your friend, maybe you're not putting it in the right bowl. You're not having the right garnishes. Maybe you're not doing the right things to make that meal taste good for that person that you're cooking it for. And I'm metaphorically speaking about a recipe, but I'm really talking about life. I'm really talking about your family. I'm really talking about your friends. I'm really talking about the relationship that you have developed. Why don't you think about the way that you're delivering the meal? Why don't you think about the ingredients and that you put together for this thing that you're giving to them? So anyways, this person prepares the meal, puts it all together, puts it down, we sit down, and I lean in to take a bite. Now, I told you when I walked in, I couldn't smell anything at all. And then I saw the seasoning. I looked over, I'm like, well, look at this seasoning. I'm thinking like, I don't recognize any of this seasoning. I don't even know what this is. And I'm not even gonna say what dish it is because this person for sure would be like, oh, you're talking about me. Anyways, I take my first bite. Listen, have you ever ate something that looked like it might have been okay, but once you got a taste of it, you're like, right? So how crazy would it be to be eating this meal that isn't good of this person who thought they just threw down, and you gotta have a moment of truth with them because your facial expression, you can't hide the fact that this food is horrible, that it tastes like just dirt, trash, like this is horrible. And they look at you and they know instantaneously that you are not pleased with what they have served to you. Just like every other area in your life. Like if you have a business partner and you say you're gonna do something, deliver the goods, deliver the recipe, deliver the ingredients, present the right meal, do what you said you're gonna do. Not just business. If you're in a relationship with if you're your husband, your wife, you gave your vows, deliver those vows. Do what you said you're gonna do because that's what you said that you're gonna do. It's not okay to tell somebody that they're gonna show up for pizza and they get there and you have sushi. They might not like sushi. So what are you delivering to the people in your life? What are you delivering in all areas of your life? You know, if you have a friend, that friend is depending on you and counting on you. What if one day you show up to their house and they got this meal and the recipe's great, the ingredients are great, and you love it, and then they invite you over for the same holiday the next year, like Christmas right now. We all have those people in our lives. They prepare those meals that we love, and every year, man, we look forward to those meals. We look forward to that dish. What if you got to your friend's house this year and you got that meal, you tasted it, and it tasted horrible? You waited all year for this dish, this gumbo, this recipe, and you're looking at this person like, I cannot believe that this food tastes like this. Wouldn't you be honest with them and tell them, hey, I've been showing up here for 5 years. What's up with the meal? We've been eating the same meal for all these years and now it's different. I want you to think about that in your life. I want you to think about that in all your relationships. I want you to think that in your business. And most importantly, I want you to think about that for yourself. What are the ingredients? Not just your recipe. I know what you look like. I know what you show up with. But what's up with your ingredients? What are you pouring into yourself every single day? What are you giving yourself and what are you limiting yourself to? See, because so many of us are putting the wrong ingredients, getting the wrong dish, and wondering why we have the wrong outcome. Check this out. And I want you to think about this. What are you listening to? What are you saying to yourself? What are you talking about? What are you indulging in? Who are you being every single day? Do you work out in an attempt to get better every single day? Are you working out? Are you spending 5 minutes on it? Are you putting in 10 minutes? Because guess what? Doing something is better than nothing, and those ingredients that you put up in your day will show up in your life eventually in long term. Think about that. Those ingredients, and I'm done on this note. The ingredients that we put into ourselves, that we put out to the world, that we put into others are going to show up in our lives eventually. Consistency is the key. And that is my time. Check this out. I only have one wish, that you grab this, that you share this, that you give this to somebody else. And the reason that I'm saying that is because what if somebody else could benefit from this? What if somebody else could take this video that you didn't have to even have this conversation with, but you know that they needed a word, that they needed a message? What if you can give this to them? And I see people, they see this video and they don't even share it. I can't believe you wouldn't share this goodness. Look at the ingredients. Look at the ingredients, not just the recipe of what I'm giving you. I'm giving this to you to add value to you so you can do something for somebody else. And most importantly, you can apply these things to your life. You can apply these things to your day. I hope you all got something out of this. I got a YouTube page too. Ask me for my link. Maybe I'll leave the YouTube page in the comments. Be a subscriber. Jump on. Get some older content. See, the growth. See how I change up the ingredients and it consistently gets better. Guess what? I can promise you that. It's only going to get better. With that being said, that's my time because I have ingredients in my day that I need to add to myself. I'm not just talking about making it better. I'm showing you how to make it better. That's my time. It's Brian Baker, Mr. O'Million Served. I'm out of here. The bakery, baby!